first. My name is Kenneth A. My company is ILEG Technology Screens. If I can get my stand here, play nicely with me because it is fighting me a bit. I don't know why. Come on now. Getting there work. I got to get a new stand. I got to go buy a new stand. This was a good stand, but this has so many issues with this thing. Everybody has issues with their stands. So today, I'm going to do something light and fast. I got to clean up the liquid cooling systems, but they're not that bad. I mentioned who I am already. Well, I'll do it again. First things first, my name is Kenneth A. My company is ILEG Technology Screens, and we are the makers of SFEG and Fusion Light Energy Gain. We do all types of stuff in here. So basically, we do everything from building customized PCs. As you can see, my customized PCs over here. They're going to have a cleaning job and building cardboard structures or sculptures or however you want to call them. But anyway, and they involve screens and stuff like that. Some of our stuff involves a lot of our technology we work on. All right, so cleaning up the desk a bit here because it is a mess. These definitely belong over there in the corner because that's where I charge that equipment at over there. And we're definitely going to have to go up and pick up some more glue sticks until our glue sticks get here. Let's get these off the table. Now, changing gears. I want to make this family friendly, which means some of the stuff we're going to do is family friendly. Some of the stuff is just every day. So we're going to be marking stuff differently. So my tone is definitely going to be changing by a lot. And I want to market some stuff toward families, family packages for projection screen setups. My first home theater, which we're setting up something for the kids to have their own first movie theater. Now, this technology we're going to be using does work with any type of projector. Because again, you don't want kids with, these machines at the end of the day. They get hot, cords get hot, stuff like that. You don't want to run that. So we got to test out a few projectors and see how it works. The Maxonics are perfect. They're small. They take up a lot of room. They're easy to mount. You can put them anywhere you want, and they don't even heat up. Those things never get hot. So that's actually another fantastic projector. Now, what kind of screen do we have that can work with any kind of projector? Visible technology can do it. Visible technology can work with any type of projector because, again, there's no issues with it. And that's why it's an invisible contrast. We'll make them a little bit darker to pick up the contrast levels quite nicely. So, excuse me, there are several different forms of projectors I'm looking at, and we have to test these machines to make sure they don't get too hot. We don't have any issues, any problems with them. Once they pass that guideline for us, then we can take the next stage on basically contacting the company. This is where a business tax wholesale license is a beaut, because we can contact and say, hey, look, we need to get this stuff wholesale. Every company has a wholesale shopping cart. How do we obtain this? And I'm like saying, hey, look, you just got to send over this information, and boom, you got it. I'm be going to a site called Petro. Petro has a lot of stuff on there, basically for home theater setups, and you just have to have that license and you're good. All right, so now other thing we're going to be doing is basically maintenance. We're supposed to maintenance the PCs, but the PCs are running some stuff, programs right now, so they can't be disturbed. But so then we got to clean out the dirty fans. So these fans do get dirty, so you can see that. This is why I explained to you at the end of the day that your console system, and this is also scares me about the valve system too, because I'm used to being a liquid cooling system all the time. I'm going to have to build something around that thing. I'm literally going to have to, because this is what freaks me out in fans. Fans collect dust like crazy. Now, I understand you can get access to it and clean it out, but still, there's little compartments in there. The little dust particles get in there and jam up and clog things up, and they don't work anymore. So we're going to have to build an outer box for the steam valve system with cooling capabilities, with the refrigeration unit, so to speak. That's what I'm building. It's part of that clear technology. But anyway, visible technology. So let's get to this freaking mess. But this is what freaks me out. This is what goes on inside of consoles and PCs and computer parts and TVs and all that stuff. Small little particles of dust, which is kind of interesting that these little particles of dust are in the air and this is how much you breathe in. Is that freaky or what? This is why we have these machines in here. That's why. That's why we run these in here. Look how much these things filter in. That's a lot in the air. And mind you, this area is clean. We clean this area back and clears the whole 9 yards. We got several of these filter units in here that clean the air. So if this machine wasn't in here to collect this mess, I would have been breathing this mess. definitely picking up another one of those. These things right here, these particular units right here are air purifier, and they also do the air climate change where they make it a little bit more, not to dry out there just a little bit. So yeah, that works fantastic right there. Especially I got these at the home front. Why? Because again, even though the cardboard furniture we have in there, it's fully insulated and designed not to carry any mold or mildew or whatever whatsoever. Actually, I bought a piece on the license inspection to show them how we have our pieces done. They were quite impressed by it. But anyway, we still have a machine in there to dry out the air. And you should have something like that, basically. If you got electronics and all that stuff around, you definitely need that stuff. Climate control. All right, let's get these things cleaned out. So we got our vacuum cleaner. For some reason, Taco did hate this machine, but now loves it. I had to vacuum him yesterday. It's funny. He actually accepted the machine. Now, at first, I thought it was these we take off on this machine, but it's not. That's a nightmare. It's just simply the back piece right here. That's all we're going to remove. Little screws back here. Take these up. And we're going to be back to the medieval build over there. But like I said, I want to change things up because a lot of those builds we put over there, that's something kids could be enjoying on how to build. All right, they went somewhere I can find it. Usually I get that reaction of we're working on something on the computer and something falls out. Like, oh, goodness gracious, in the circuits. I got to pull the whole part to get to that because, yeah, something, it bounces and hits something and, you know, short something out. And it's not going to be a pretty day for you. But anyway, so I want to do more like a story time on these elves. Should have no problem bringing that one up, doing that one. And they are elves in the day and the journey on the little town we're building, but I think we're building a town. I telling myself we're not building a town, but technically we are building a town. So interesting. The cottage on the far end, the first one we built, is a tiny cottage. So we are going to incorporate that because I think we're going to do different category types of elves. Some are big, some are smaller, some are tiny. I mean, there's different categories, like, you know, Dr. Seuss. It's the same category with different versions of the Whovilles. Some are huge, some are smaller, stuff like that. But we are going to build a bigger cottage. But we're going to do a hobbit. We're going to circle the doors and all that stuff. I got to get my stuff in to make some stained glass too. We'll order that today. Show you how to make beautiful stained glass, or if you want, go in the dark stained glass. You can make it yourself. So we got it in here. We got what do we have? We got that right there. We got one of those plastic panels. We're just going to dark stained glass coming in. So this is cool stuff that the kids can watch and learn some stuff. And then on top of that, I want to basically work on this family package we're working on. And, you know, for kids, their first movie setup. Because, man, I swear, if I look at one more demonstration, some poor kid on some white screen with a crappy projector, man, I'm going to lose my marbles. They should be looking way better than that. Parents, they should be looking better than that. You look on your cell phone and go, looks exactly the same. It should be. All right, let me see. So look at all the dirt we have in here, man. This is just some dirty, filthy grime. Look at, woo, man. This is why I tell you at the end of the day, you got to go into your system. Some people, you have access to your system. They give you access. You got to go in there. I know part of you saying, man, I paid a lot of money for this and I don't want to break it, but you actually are breaking it. You're definitely breaking your system. So you know that. Let's get some cloth in here with some. Let's get some. I always take my T-shirt off when I do this stuff because I have wrecked so many T-shirts on so many levels. It's not even funny. I wrecked a lot of T-shirts. Let me see. Let me grab. We need much more fun too. How come we don't have any rags laying around? We don't literally. Work with fabric all the time. Oh, we got fabric over here. Cool. Look at this. My job easier. I don't have to worry about touching it. I don't mind if you take your tissues, but I'd rather do something that's social tissue. I have my own stuff. I was supposed to sitting there looking at wipes. Literally sitting at a bag of wipes. And someone said, pick them up. We're going to need them. Or something, nah, we're good. We don't need any wipes. We need them because we need to wipe our equipment off. Wipes are fantastic for keyboards and all that stuff. You know, you got a lot of water saturating your computer parts and all that stuff. I'm going to go right back up there and get those wipes in a big, big, big container of them for cheap, like $2. Could have did this with it, but we did not. All right. Now, just so you know that even though we will have some stuff for kids, we are still a Christian channel. We are a Christian channel. Whether people don't like it or not, at the end of the day, we are Christians. And we still will talk about God, but it'll be in a different way, basically more gentle, more settled, which it should be. You don't want your kids around Christians at the end of the day, then just don't watch. I mean, I feel sorry for you, but just don't watch. But other than that, we're going to do something basically for the kids, show them how to build, construct, design, and make things at the end of the day. Some people say, what you mean by that? You know what I mean by that. You have people, they don't even pray in church anymore, in schools anymore. You know, they used to, right? They used to pray in schools. There it is. I was wondering where you went to. Pledge allegiance to the flag. They don't want to do that anymore. There are parents that got upset about that, about how they don't want to do, salute the flag. You do know where you live at, right? You do know what this whole country and founding fathers and all that, you know what I mean? I find these are the very few people at the end of the day who argue about how they don't want their kids saluting the flag. But yet that little document at the end of the day, which you realize now how very important that thing is, because we really had to fight for that thing. I mean, stuff that went on in politics, they really challenged that thing at the end of the day. Glad you got that piece of paper there, right? Interesting. But yet you don't want to salute the flag. Okay. Just want to let you know that. Woo. Dusty, Dusty, Dusty. Why are you so dusty? We're going to be making a suit of armor. We're going to call him Medieval Bob. Medieval Bob is one of the other characters we had in the day. And oh, by the way, in this whole world of these different forms of elves, category class of elves, we are going to be. We got to make a blacksmith. I forgot we got to build that too. On top of that, we're going to be. What's the word for it? We're going to have different interesting characters. Now we got Lucky Lakes over there. Lucky Lakes is this enchanted lake where you're guaranteed to catch fish. You are guaranteed to catch fish 100%. You just don't fish after midnight because mermaids are in the lake at mermaid. They're not evil mermaids. These are good mermaids at the end of the day, but some good ones. Nothing evil in here. We also have George the Giant, which is a great big huge giant. He's a kid at the end of the day. So we're going to make this giant sleeping in the countryside with a huge kite over top his legs. He's tired. He's been running around quite a bit. So we're going to have a lot of cool stuff we're going to build. And we're going to teach kids how to take everyday stuff, even cardboard, and build the most amazing things. Now, these are more complicated builds. We want to have some simple builds. Also, too, I'll show you how to turn a Nike box. We can't use a Nike box. Forgot about that. And just get a generic sneaker. How to take a shoebox and turn it into a PC cabinet. Not hard to do either. So that's for the kids to help them out how to build it. You can decorate any way you want. You know what I mean? I like doing the ones that are white, paint them all white, and let the kids color them up. And then they have their own PC to hook up. Parents have to do the part with the whole PC build. Really not hard to do. Very simple build. Or we're going to do that one. Or I'm going to basically also to show you how to basically, and these are all over eBay, all over can't think of the name for it. We're on YouTube right now. On YouTube, on how to take a basic Dell PC, one piece you add into it, automatic gaming PC that fast, that quick. So very easy to do. Now, for those of you who have problems, complex issues, I don't know what goes on in your world at the end of the day, please keep your opinion to yourself. Because there are hundreds, and I mean hundreds. Look it up yourself. Go to your YouTube, go to your phone, and type in converting basic Dell to gaming PC, and you will see the hundreds of high influencers and professionals showing you how to take a Dell of $100 or whatever. I'm actually looking at doing an i5 processor setup, but anyway, and it will show you how to take a Dell and completely convert it into a gaming system. And, people you can't do that. You have to have high-powered parts. All your parts have to be high-powered. No, they don't have to be high-powered. You don't need all that stuff at the end of the day. A 4070 right now that they're putting in the Dell machine will run everything on Valve. Every game on Steam will run on a 4070. You don't need all that power. That nonsense didn't come from PC. It came from console gamers made that one up. You know why? Because you guys think for some reason PC is supposed to be super expensive. Literally, when I built the PC, I had a console gamer contact me and said, "Oh, freaking PC Master Race! You guys live in golden mansions on the moon. You cry golden tears," which I thought was the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. But anyway, yeah, y'all made that stuff at the PC so super expensive. Ultimately, the reason why the PC considers itself to be the elitist machine because we have modifications, capabilities beyond belief. We can change anything the freak we want on our machine. Anything. And if you have certain skill levels, you can even change your motherboard chips. So we have these options. There's so much stuff to manipulate these machines. Even the software, program, coding, you name it, we have it. We can do it. And usually when they make these machines for us, they make it so people like us can go in and mess with it. Like they did with the Valve system. The Steam machine allows me to go in and change my RAM. So I can change my RAM down to 32. I can go change my my hard drive to 2 terabytes. And if I want more, I can actually build me a hard drive loading bay, and I can attach that to it. I can put a partitional drive into it and put another operating system, and then run my Connect system and software and other program I'm running off of it. I can Bitcoin on that thing at the end of the day. I could do whatever I want on it because they gave me that capability. There you go. That's why. And then on top of that, consider the fact that the subscription cost, there is no subscription cost. I got like 8 or 9 accounts. I got some accounts, I don't even know where they're at, but I got other accounts. And the accounts are free. When you go in and buy games, you're rewarded for buying games. If I buy games, I get something like 6,000 points. I was looking at these points. Like, what the heck are these point systems are? I'm buying game. One of my accounts has 100,000 points on it. I didn't even know what they were for. I'm like, what's the points for? And the guy was like, oh, you can upgrade your system with it. I was like, really? So that's why you see when I do it, I have the woman comes in and go, ding dong. I can change the intro, and you got to see my dashboard is amazing in there. So it's so much stuff you can buy in there with those points. So yeah, it's fantastic that they allow you to do that. So you'll see, and this is what you'll get a chance to experience when they launch that system. And those of you on PC, which are really going to get, we're going to get a kick out of it either way, but we build PC anyway. But the big impact is going to be those that are console gamers that never been gaming on a PC. They're going to never come back to console ever again. I guarantee you. They're never coming back. They're never, ever coming back. I guarantee you. I think there's a lot more than what you see. It does a lot more than that. Now, if you build PCs, you can look at that and go, gee, that's freaking crazy. Yeah, you can understand the schematics. It's crazy. It's definitely crazy. The dashboard capability is way beyond on consoles, way beyond that. So you're going to see it. You're going to see. It's just going to blow your mind on how they did this. The power brick is actually built within the system. It's not like a separate attachment, no cord, none. Oh yeah, that's pretty nice. I like that. But anyway, now for those hardcores that want to say, well, it ain't about that, man. It's getting down to the point. It ain't about which system is better. It's pretty much more like power and price. That's what it's coming down to. It's coming down to power and price. And let me explain something to you. So I got people at the end of the day say, well, consoles have more. No, consoles don't have more games. PCs have more games. PCs were here first. Consoles came later on. PC was literally here first before the console. So your games, and I had this conversation with many people. I said, your games are not programmed on a console. They're programmed on PC. Can you run Windows on your console system? You can't run it. That thing can run it because it's literally a PC. That's why. And then if you look at console systems, they're converting more and more into PC. That's what they're changing into. If you look at them, you know what I mean? They're changing more and more into PC. So even they know it's the right direction to go. So you're just going to see when that thing comes out, and hopefully it's not the rumor. People saying it's going to be $1,000. I don't think it's going to be $1,000. I don't think it's going to be nowhere near $1,000. Why I don't think it's going to be $1,000? I think 5 to 6. That's what I think it's going to be. And the reason why? Because if you look at the PlayStation, the digital, and the one with the drive, when they came out, they weren't $1,000. They had 4070s in them. Some had a terabyte, some had 512, and the RAM was 16. which is the same. These machines have 16, and you can upgrade to 32. The upgrades for 32. So they have almost the same amount of specs, you would say, a PS5, but they have a lot more power on what you could do with the machine and manipulate coding and all that stuff with it. But still, there's no way to work at a 4070, and they put a 4070 on a digital, and a digital was $400. Yeah, it's gonna be roughly like that. But the reason why I say it's gonna be 500 to 600 because technically it's a PC. You can do things on it you can't do with your system. My system over there, I can't load Windows on it. I can go online with it, but online is only for surfing. It's a browser. That's all it is. It's a browser. That's it. It's not something I can write code and all that stuff. I can build a website on there. I can literally build a website on the system, which I'm going to do. I'm going to build a website under gaming and all that stuff. Yeah, it's all in one. It's everything. So it's a workhorse. I can use it for work, and I can also use it for play. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting. And then the VR glasses, you see what that controller does. Oh my God, the controller is insane. Like people look at that. No, that's a way different type of controller. It basically can interact with the VRs, and the VRs. That's something crazy about the VRs. VRs do something else really crazy. They do something my Index 2 doesn't do. So that's why I'm going to have to do the VRs now. But the only thing that concerns me about it is I'm a person of cooling, and I don't like dust in my machines, and I do see the dust. Even though you can get into it and access certain areas, but those hopefully we can get access to that, please. But that machine, when I talk about machines, when you make them compress and there's not a lot of cooling going on in there, the fan's too small, that machine's like 80% cooling. You see the heat sink they put in that thing? The heat sink is massive. It's most of the machine. It's a heat sink. And in the back of it, this massive fan in the back of it. See, that's why I told you from the door, console gamers, when you make these powerful console systems, you have to have sufficient cooling in these machines. If not, they will burn out. And if they get enough of this dust filters in there, it'll suffocate your stuff. And I don't know why PlayStation did that nonsense. Why would you put a fan here and then have two corridors here where dust can filter in there and clog up your heat sink? That's where it's going at. It's going towards your heat sink. And if it clogs that, and whatever that heat sink is sitting on top of, whatever controls your USB controller or anything else in there, if it can't breathe, then it can't breathe. It's going to suffocate your system. They should have gave you access to that, or at least put two filters, a filter here and a filter here. If they don't want you in that department, put a filter here and a filter here. That's what you do. And then that way you can pull the filter up, clean it down with a toothbrush, and then put it back in. That's it. Easy fix. Now, like I said, that price point, man, if that price point is what I think it is, it's not going to go well for you guys. It's not. It's not going to go well for you. Because again, you sit there and say, well, we have exclusive games are on PC, number one. And I don't think they saw this coming. I don't think they saw this coming. They were thought I was building this system. It's going to 10 years to put this machine together. So it's crazy. But for those of you fanboys who want to get butthurt about this at the end of the day, mind it's not set for family, but you want to get butthurt about this at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's called console wars. That's what it's called. It's been going on for decades. So your machine, it's going to have, PS6 is going to have a very serious problem. Xbox, it's going to have a very serious problem. No one's going to sit there and spend $1,200 for a system you can't manipulate. And then you turn around and you can't even you have to pay for a subscription cost. Man, I'm picking up, this thing is $500. I'm picking up 3 of them. I'm picking up 2 from my friends. A friend of mine I game with all the time. I'm sending her one down and I'm sending one to her son. And and on top of that, like I said, it doesn't. What makes it so easy about it, the maintenance is easy on it. You know what I mean? On PC, you're building all that. I can understand. I'm still going to build me a couple PC builds. I'm still going to do a 5060 build, and maybe a little higher up than that. But this thing right here is freaking amazing. On top of that, if you are a PC builder, it saves you a lot of money. Because if you're thinking about building, when you think like I got to buy these parts and everything, I kind of tallied up one that would be better than the system, and it would cost me $900. That's if the system is $900. But if that system is under $900, oh heck, I'm getting a couple of these things. Yeah. So the scary part for the console player at the end of the day, it's a machine, it's a computer, it does so much that the console can't do. It runs operating systems. You know, you can work off of it. You can game off of it. You can do anything you want. It's amazing. On top of that, it works with all the major heavy PC hardware, including your hardware too. Also, we can put emulators on it. We can put modding. We can code. We can put all that stuff. We can code into gaming. They don't mind that on PC. PC really don't care if you code into gaming, unless you're cheating. And if you're online, you're cheating. It's a different story. You'll get yourself with your account banned. Other than that, they don't really mind. But other than that, yeah, you got so much freedom. You have so much freedom. You do. Then the system's compact and it's small. It's smaller than the Xbox. It's smaller than the PlayStation. Got interchangeable pads, little light system that bounces back and forth. You can customize. Oh yeah, definitely. So console gamers are going to look at that and go, they're going to start doing their research. I tell people, do your research. What you do is you go open up a Steam guest account. I'll get you a Steam account. They're free anyway. And you go in, and I want you to look at all the games that you have to play. It's overwhelming. There's a section, say you don't have any money right now, so you can't buy a game. There's a section that has over 1,000 different types of game, and they're free. And those games are freaking amazing. They're not like trash games. They're freaking amazing. You like online games? Where do I need to start from? It's just so much stuff. Unbelievable. There are games that will launch for that system you would never ever see on a console system. Remember, import games, they got everything you can possibly think of. You like driving? Some of you people are big on driving. Have you seen the steering wheels for a PC? It's insane. It's like actually getting in your own car. It's very precision, precise, the whole nine. You've seen people on YouTube doing tractor trailer demonstrations and all that stuff like that. Yeah. Controllers, flight sticks, all that stuff. Insane. And on top of that, it doesn't say it does 4K, and then later on it doesn't do 4K. It actually does 4K. So like I said, do your research. Go in, look at the library, like good gracious. And the sales go on just about almost every week. There's a sale. Matter of fact, I gotta go pop in today and go buy some stuff. But yeah, it's a sale in there all the time. I freaking love it, man, so much. I'm telling you. So yeah, you're gonna go in there and see that selection. Like, good gracious! Like, I don't even know where to start from. That's what happened to me. At first, set up a Steam account. I was in there like I don't even know where to start at. It's overwhelming. I got games. I got so many games on my account because they're affordable to buy. I haven't even touched yet. I got games downloaded I haven't even touched because it's just so many of them. And the sales are so reasonable. And on top of that, you get points for every time you buy games and use the points for other stuff, which reminds me, I got to change out one of my screens real quick. I'm going to change to something new. I can run my website off of there. The PC. I'm a website off of it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up my website through my Steam unit. My website, the whole 9 years, all that. I'm going to get another drive, put it on there, probably about, let's see, So if it does 2 terabytes, I can do a terabyte for the system itself and another terabyte basically for the PC. Because I'm not doing anything basic. I'm basic on it. I'm just putting basically applications. Applications are small. But then I can put an external drive. My external drives, and I'm putting on, they're 20 terabytes. I'm building me a rack system. That's what I'm doing. And I've seen somebody online selling them. But that's for people at the end of the day who don't build, because that's pretty much comes down to. They're going to charge you a little bit more. Of course, I can understand. They got to make their money, so I know hater on that. But they are selling them. And these things popped up out of nowhere. And the reason why, because everybody now is building technology around that Steam unit. They want a piece of the pie. We're even building a screen. This is a screen. Oh, I forgot about that. I got to move this surface. This is a screen I'm building for mine. And it has a pulse system that interacts with the pulse system on the front of the dashboard. It's a jet black. It's a new Apex coming out. So we're even building technology around it. So, yeah, it's going to be crazy. I even have a case. We can't talk about that too much, but just a case that I'm actually designing. So we can't tell you too much about the case, but there is a case we're building. It's a special case. All right, so and let's talk more like talk. This is clean. Fan. I said your fans are running really slow, like really slow, and you got to clean these things out. If not, you will burn your place down because fans will catch fire and they will burn your place down. You don't want to be going through that, so make sure they're clean. I gotta get some Q-tips. I get some Q-tips and get in there. That's not a problem. At least as long as we got that back area, because that thing was filthy, man. You make sure you get behind the back of the fans, all back here. The other fans, like box fans, you take out the screws, put it back in cleaner back there, clean them all down, wipe down behind the back of them. Make sure you get over there where them circuits, the kill switches are at. Clean all that down. All right. Air freshener. I do it on all my units. A little bit of air pressure in my life. That's it. Which way are we going with this? Are we just going to lay it down flat this way? Because that's the way we're going. Here's the nightmare part. Did we actually get the screws where they were supposed to go? Got your $100. I didn't get them in there. Kind of felt like I did. Nope, I didn't. Look at that. Way off. Let's try it again. 3 hours later. You know, it'd be nice if they had little arrows here, right? That'd have been kind of hot. I got to make my own. I'm going to have to mark my own in there, some white markers or something, because there should be an arrow there lining that up, which would make it so much easier to get it in there, but I guess you got to Houdini it, right? They used to do that with fans. Fans used to have markers on that show exactly, let me show. So off it does. Let me see. It should be. This is the hard part. They should have put the markers in there. It's a good fan. They literally should have put markers in there. Because you have no way of knowing if this thing is actually... There we go. I'll do it that way. No way of knowing if they're hitting because the markers aren't there. But I know some of the PC fans, they don't put the intake and outtake directions on them. That's why I have to turn them on. There we go. I have to turn them on and see exactly where the air's flow is directed at. Because you don't want air blowing into your system when it's trying to push, air pushing out, you burn your system out. The older fans got them, but the new ones don't have it. But you plug it in, you figure it out. And you can't put 2 little arrows in there. I'll pick up some Q-tips today. I need them anyway. I got to clean some stuff on the other side. I have to be somewhere at 9 o'clock. I always got to be somewhere. I got to be somewhere almost every single day. I got to be somewhere. I got to be at City Hall from other business I have to take care of. And I have to be at another place with this business taken care of. And I got this whole T-shirt now, adventure thing going on. Well, it's going to be more than that. Now it's going to be T-shirts, it's going to be hats, it's going to be jackets, it's going to be a bunch of stuff. And I got a buddy of mine. Hey, now I'm not even got the sticky fingers in there. How in the world did I bring that back up? I got Spider-Man skills now. Anyway, and he's a big boy fashion guy in the fashion business. Me and him used to, way back in the day, chill. And like, you still making clothes? I'm like, not really. I gave up on all that. So I said, but I do have something interesting coming out. As soon as we get our paperwork back from good old Uncle Sam for our copyrights on our work, we'll be good to go. It's okay, shoot it past me. So, interested in putting in a little show. Give me some publicity and pop my website. I'm building another website, by the way. A new website for our t-shirt setup. Now, for those people saying, oh, so you're building merch? No, it's no merch. It's an entire new company. Has nothing to do with any of this stuff we built. Nothing. It's an entire brand new company. And what's cool about it is that when I was putting that screen together over there, the Lord gave it to me. He gave it to me right there. He said, this idea just popped in my head. Oh, I did that I don't care. But anyway, this idea popped in my head. The Lord blessed me with this blessing that popped in my head. You're going to make t-shirts. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So he gave me the idea. I have the stencil, design, built, all of it. The logo, all that stuff. It's right there in my battle bag over there. And all the information, because I go to all the different places where I can buy my t-shirts, everything wholesale, all this. I list for all my stuff I need. And I went in there and got, this did not just happen to me. It just did. are they going in? So one went in? One actually went in? Okay, so how does one go in and the rest of these don't go in? Oh, this is just some baffling craziness. Oh, wait, let me do this again. I'm marking anything. I'm going to mark this thing so we know exactly, because there's no area to mark it. So only one went in. All right, I got an idea. I got a funny feeling how this is done. It's weird, but I got a funny weird feeling on how we do this. Come on. I got a strange feeling. Let's do it this way. Hold on. I wonder. I wonder. I wonder if this is how they do it, how they're marking it. And this is right. This is the dumbest thing ever. Get in there. I saw it tighten up when I put it in there. Let me see something there. Oh, that's stupid. All right, whatever. At least I know. I know. That is just stupid. Like, who would even figure that out? Yeah, of course. Of course. Laziness. Freaking laziness. That's just it's lazy. I'll tell you in a few minutes what they did. I gotta go in. This is Q-tip. This is Q-tip territory. Gotta go in there with the Q-tip and get all that out of there. So, not hard to do. As long as you got that main dirt out of the back of it and clean the motor down behind the blades, which is very important. That's more important. Get that done. That's what's going to cause your fire. Let me see. I remember one time we gave out free LED lights. And I'm talking about people that are just filled with so much hatred on just by everything we did. This guy just came behind and just tried to spread nasty rumors. That's a lot of hatred. I feel sorry for people that way. It's like I told you, hatred can cause ulcers, heart attacks, all that stuff. It's a sad, sad state to be like that. But anyway, yeah, we gave out free LED lights at one point for our customers. We used to give them off all the time, from time to time. We get them on discount. We get them and hook them up. And this guy wanted to say, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing because certain LED lights can cause fires. Buddy, I have bought so many different types of LED lights. It's not even funny. I have bought more LED lights than most people do video demonstrations. I have all different types of LED lights, from chasers to liquid LED lights. And on top of that, I'm a PC builder. So I think I would know a bit about basically wiring LED lights into a freaking case or whatever at the end of the day, because I do it all the time over here. So yeah, no, there's certain types. And when I asked him to explain himself, nothing, as always. So basically, I did a tutorial video on LED lights, mostly the back side of LED lights, because people don't realize that the back side of your LED lights play the difference of whether or not you come down and all your lights are sitting in the living room on the floor. So basically, the red, blue, brown, and white. If you're in the back of your stickers, most people sometimes will get white. The white adhesive at one point was so poor that if you basically hang these things up, mind you, you're in an area where the climate's going to change. It's going to be cold 1 minute, it's going to be hot 1 minute. That tape will give away eventually, and you will have this spaghetti design all over your environment. You said 2 times all these lights up. That actually happened to me. So that's when I started doing some research and found out the strongest ones are the reds. If you find anything with red, or the strongest one is red, but next that would be blue on the back of it, be prepared to scrape and repaint your walls, because it would literally rip the paint off your walls, and it will. That's something that's very strong. It's up there. It's up there. Now, the brown, somewhat like iffy, but when it comes to the brown, I'd rather just go in and just basically run a line of packing tape over it to keep it up there. Or you can just go with the whole bracket system where you slide the lights into the little casing and you screw each one of those into the wall. They kind of hide the light, give it kind of like a backlit effect. So there's just so many different ways you could do it. But I explained to him and asked some simple questions. And of course, we're met with a bunch of laugh emojis and screaming and yelling as usual. But trying to discourage people from buying from us because we gave out free LED lights. That shows you the level of jealousy and hatred And even now, like I said, more hatred now, and why his business failed. That's why. And our business is still flowing. That's another reason why he's very upset, because he couldn't get his business off the ground. And he had it for how long? But if you don't do things right, it doesn't work out. If you do shifty stuff, your business won't work out. That's what'll happen to it. People learn that down through time. You do dirty stuff, your business don't work out. Especially if you're working with that guy at the end of the day. If you're working with the devil, it definitely ain't going to work out. You know what I mean? The guy got that bit. He stole the money because he went out and had an accident. This is not set for children, by the way. He went out and had an accident. No, matter of fact, he didn't have an accident. He faked the accident at McDonald's and did a whole slip and fall thing and got this money, $27,000, and he didn't get nothing out of it. Nothing. All that money went to nowhere. The Jaguar had all these issues and problems, and it cost more to fix that thing because it's an imported vehicle and stuff. He ended up selling that thing for less than probably, I think it was like $200 or $300, and he paid $13,000 for that thing. He invested some money in some bed and breakfast. There's a bar and grill, and the owner who owned the grill was doing illegal drugs, and the FBI sting was on the property, and he lost that too because that's not refundable. They don't give you that money back. You got to go through a whole lot of red tape, and he already committed fraud to get the money. So you think he's going to go in and no, he's not going to do all that. He lost money in that, and then the incident also involving that Jaguar is cheating on his wife left and right. Just doing all kinds of dirty stuff, cheating on his wife and everything. And him going all the way up to Norristown to meet this girl. I watched the entire muffler system. I ain't talking about the muffler. I'm talking about that entire pipe that's like 9 feet long pop off a car. I'm like, this muffler system just drop off. That car was cursed. But anyway, so then that happened. And then later on, after all that went down, he lost all that money. He got busted by his wife. Found out she was cheating on multiple women. And mind, these are people that work for the city. If you know people that work for the city, the whole family works for the city because they hook each other up. My brother might work for SEPTA. Somebody might work for PICO. Somebody might work for the water department. Everybody in their family all work for city. So if they all work for city, you're going to work for city. You got a job automatically guaranteed you're going to be in union. That's how it is in Philly. So her family was all union. Her family was all through Philly. It was all different branches and stuff like that. And that's how he got his job at the end of the day. And that's how he lost his job at the end of the day, too. So, yeah. Well, we can't. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Life is interesting that way. But anyway, yeah, he got kicked out of the house because the house was hers. It was in her name. So she got rid of it and got divorced. And on top of that, she hired some female to go in, and they recorded and documented the whole entire thing. So he was done. He was over there talking to us about how she had somebody go in and this local watering hole we like to go to all the time to mess with these women. And it got back to her, and she had someone go in there and record his activity. So that was done. He lost everything. Ended up in the Salvation Army. See, but it don't pay. It don't pay to follow Satan. It don't. I watched so many people follow the devil, and the outcome is just awful, absolutely awful. Some people turn it around and get their lives together and find God, and the ones that don't, wow, it's messed up. You can't. Some of them can't come back. Once you lose your mind, once your mind goes, there's no way to gather it back. There's no way. You don't even know who you are anymore. And I told you about one story about one in my family who, and oh, by the way, I'm fair warning, serious warning. He may be a man at the end of the day that has lost his way, but he's still technically a Christian under God's ruling. And if God has judgment on him, if God is basically still, and hopefully he is, guiding him through what he's going through, then those of you who tried to use his name, you're in danger. And if you think we're joking at the end of the day, no, you're definitely in danger. You're interfering with God's plans. Don't do stuff like that. That's very dangerous. You can put curses upon yourself, personally, your family, your friends. Don't do stuff like that. You make people at the end of the day think at the end of the day, well, it's not. No. You're talking about God. All right, you understand your heartbeat, that boom, boom, boom in your chest right now. The fact that you can actually watch this video right now, it doesn't have to happen right now. You can have a heart attack just like that. Heart can stop beating just like that. Or Satan himself can basically have access to enter your home and just tear it up in there. So the one person that's allowing you to breathe and function and be able to do the things you do and come back in the next day and wake up the next day, You're messing around a very dangerous area. So the person knows who I'm talking about. So I advise you, stop it and go before the Lord and ask for forgiveness, because you're going to need that forgiveness. All right? They don't get that. That's one thing they don't understand. And it's sad that when you really see Satan's master plan, and they don't see this, you guys are in trouble. You're in so much trouble. It's not the law you most like to worry about. It's your salvation is what you have to worry about. And you really are not seeing this. You can't do anything to me. There's nothing you can do. I know the devil tells you at the end of the day, oh, he's saying this because he's afraid. I'm not afraid of anybody. I'm not afraid of no man on this planet. Nobody. I don't even fear the devil. Only one I fear is God, and that's it. And since the Lord protects me and watches over me, that's why I have no fear for man. That's why I have no fear of the devil. So I know at the end of the day that you don't understand the master plan of Satan. And Satan got it in your head. He's telling you that you're going to be able to take down a Christian. That's not going to happen. If that was the case, the first time that, Fernando made the attempt, my business would have been down, wouldn't it? His business went down, not mine. So it tells you right from the door, everything you tried has failed miserably. I'm still here. I'm still making money. My company's growing. Our technology's been blessed. And you guys at the end of the day have, well, you don't want to know what's coming towards your way. It's pretty bad. So you don't need God to get out of that situation, but the devil got you in it. And the sad thing about it is when I see people follow Satan, is that the devil will constantly whisper in their ear that, oh, you got to do this and got to do that. He knows that Satan even knows at the end of the day that he can't touch me. But he knows he can touch you. That's what he knows 100%. So he'll have you go out and do dumb stuff, which he had you do, for us to whisper in my ear the other day and say, hey, you got to retaliate. You got to do the same thing they're doing. And you're like, no, we're not doing that. You have lost your mind. Get away from me, Satan. I'm not put this in God's hand. That's what we do. And we just gather all your stuff up that Satan told you to do, and we turn around and we take you to court on it. And Satan's just sitting in the courtroom laughing because he knows what's going to happen. He knows that he can't get me to do what he wants me to do. But who cares? He got you. So that's all that matters. So he'll sit there and he'll make you do crazy stuff, knowing you can't touch me because I'm protected by Jesus. Because if I wasn't protected by Jesus, Satan could come here right now and kill me. But he can't come kill me. He can't, because I'm protected by God. So Satan himself can't come here and kill me, and you can't do anything about it. Then what makes you think anything you're doing is going to affect me? It's going to affect you, because he knows he got you to defy God, and he got you to attack one of his people. So he's already made his plans for you already. Once he gets that first initial taste that he can get in and get access to you and manipulate you, he's in there, and he's not leaving. And I guarantee he's not alone. Mind you, people keep saying the devil, the devil, the devil, the devil, the devil. The devil did not fall from heaven by himself. There were others that fell with him. So there are other fallen angels on the earth. So you got to understand that, what you're dealing with here. Somebody gets you upset today, right? Let me show you how fast Satan works. Somebody gets you upset today, right? And the first minute it processes in your head to hurt, harm that person, or to snap and get nasty that person, that wasn't you already that fast. He's quick. He's in there that fast. Now, say someone says something nasty to you, and you just go, you know what, I'm going to give it to God. Put it in Jesus' name, give it to God. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk away from this. You don't go and anticipate in what the devil's trying to do. You can hear the devil talk to you. You mean your voice in mind. He'll get mad when you make that statement. He'll get upset. And all of a sudden, all that anger will go away. It's not there anymore. The devil left. Because he can't get you to do what you're supposed to do because you called on God and can't go against God. He got to leave. There you go. It happens in your head every day. But he's hoping that you do listen. And this is what's sad about these guys at the end of the day. They listened. And he got them to do more stuff, and they listen. And the devil he'll keep up in the ante, up in the ante, up in the ante. But he knows at the end of the day that we're protected by Jesus. And he knows he can't touch us. But he can touch you. And if he can get you, he's happy with that. And hopefully he can get you to involve other people, which you did. You played the devil's game. So the devil got Fernando to involve other people. Now these other people have not been touched by Satan. And he'll get those people to get other people And he has them now. He has them two now. And they'll keep growing and growing and growing. Meanwhile, we're not getting hit with any of this stuff because he already knows that we're protected by Jesus. He can't touch us. Because if we weren't protected by Jesus and Jesus did not protect us in any way, the devil could pop up here in full form and kill me. But he can't. Because I'm protected by Jesus. So if the devil himself can't reach me, what makes you think you can? But he's reaching you. Your lives are in danger. And then on top of that, you're on a timeline, which means, again, you're not guaranteed to be here. You're not guaranteed to be here tomorrow, the next day. You're not guaranteed to wake up. None of that. And if you have not picked up your cross and you spent your time on this earth serving Satan, guess where you're going? You're going to purgatory. And that's a place where you suffer. It's not a place where you think at the end of the day you're just going to be sitting in the heat. No, it's a place of suffering, of extreme torment, torture. That's what purgatory is. It's a very horrible place to be at. And it's a waiting room. It's not actual hell yet. That's just the beginning stage of hell. So you'll be in purgatory for whenever time God decides to come back. If God does not come back for a century, you will be there for a century in torment. That's what's so scary about it. Even today, people understand that you're never told when God's going to come back. If people knew when God was going to come back, people go and commit all types of crimes and robberies. Okay, God's coming back on May the 13th, 2026. So let's commit all these crimes. And then when May the 26th, 13th comes up, we'll just tone it down and we'll be good. Don't work that way. You don't know when he's coming back. So since you don't know when he's coming back, imagine if you're in the middle of committing sin and God's coming back. God comes back. That's not going to go well. Or you haven't picked up the cross and you haven't followed Jesus. So when the time comes, the Lord brings his people back. We won't even see any destruction on the earth. We won't be here for it because God is going to take us. Now I'll be here 1 minute and poof, gone. Just like that. And whatever is left behind, you're here for judgment. That's another section of Armageddon and Judgment Day, which is absolutely a nightmare too, also too, on top of that. So if you're left behind, if God comes back, just say tomorrow, all his followers are gone. You're left here for whatever's coming. Now, you saw that movie called The End, whatever that was. Let me explain something to you. That is considered to be Disney World, to what's going to happen. I've had people read Revelations and were scared to death. You can see tears coming out. I don't want to be here for that. I don't want to be here for that. I want to be here. No, you do not want to be here for that. You remember on Hellboy where they show what happens and each? That's nothing. That's nothing. Hollywood couldn't even fabricate what's going to happen on that day. But when you read in Judgment Day what happens, it is unbelievable. And this is where that book of judgment will be opened up. And all your sins, everything you committed on this earth, you will be held accountable for. Everything. So you don't want to get caught up in that. That reminds me, that guy sits out there and puts the God signs up there. I got some money I'm dropping off to him because I want to support his cause. He's out there, rain, snow, whatever. So I'm going to be buying him gear, all kinds of gear, hunting gear, stuff like that. Because it stays nice and warm, battery pack, charging systems, whatever you need, I got him. For anybody supporting Christ like that, I'm with it. We'll drop some stuff off for him. I can use my wholesale license to buy whatever I need at the end of the day, and I can give right back to him. You got them signs out there. I got stuff, man. I can illuminate them things so they glow. So that way you can get that word out even more. And then I noticed that the church on this side has a sign that says God loves you, but there's a letter there that's not lit up. I'm going to see if they need any money for donation to get that sign up and going. For anything when it comes to supporting Christ, to get that word out. Oh, we got a new screen paint. We had it before, but we're bringing it back. Christian Cinemax. We're going to call it Cinemax. I'm going to call it Cinemax. Christian Cinema, whatever it is. We're going to call it change the name anyway. But it's still, yeah, we have a paint that we designed for churches. So allow your colors to bloom. And it's only sold in gallons only. So, yeah. And we do give discounts to churches and veterans. So if you are a veteran, just let us know. Or church. All right. Spritz. Oh, shoot. No. Because then the whole thing, I might want to change up the scent. The fan's okay. Sometimes, if it's a particular scent and you like that smell, you know what I mean? I like to change mine out once in a while or what I use. But if you like that one, you can put a little bit of the scent from the Glade. It's on Glade. What are you going to put? Because I like the name Glade. Glade's on it, and it pulls out that scent. This is our cleaning system right here, and our fan. Fan's looking nice and clean. Turn you on. That's yeah, a lot more cleaner. You got to maintenance your stuff. How about the psychedelic that fan makes go in the dark? It's going to tell me it's all going in the dark. Psychedelic. Hoorah! Hold on, I got to be out the door. So when I talk like that, and the devil tells you, and I know what he's going to tell you because I used to serve him a long time ago when I was after getting in all kinds of trouble, stuff like that. You know, he tells you that, oh, he's saying that because he is frightened and afraid, and you know, he feels threatened, and you just keep on putting pressure on him. You're not putting any pressure on me. I serve God. You know, if you can beat God, then that means you can get to me. But you can't beat God, right? So it means you can't get to me. And nothing changes for us. Everything, bro, you can't harm us or can't attack us in any way whatsoever. What kind of God would he be at the end of the day that if we sit there and we serve him, Satan attack us? That's not a good God at the end of the day. That means we can't trust him. And if we can't trust him, that means that we have no faith in God. But we have faith in God because God protects us. Gentlemen, I lived in, like I said, some of the most violent neighborhoods in North Philadelphia. And I've had hits put on me. I've had drug dealers, major big-time drug dealers, threaten my life. I've had corner boys try to kill me. I've been through a lot of things. And when I changed and became a Christian, I still had Satan. I've seen Satan many times come to me and try to destroy me. And I just look at him. I know who you are. You can't touch me. I serve God at the end of the day. They walked away. So I've seen the devil. I've seen how he acts and how he writes. I've seen all that. You can't do anything to me. Whatever you think of, whatever he tells you, it's not going to touch me because I serve God. I trust in him to be my protector. The only thing you're doing is you're putting yourself in a very dangerous situation. Demons will make themselves known around you. Sometimes you don't even know. They'll sit right in. Well, we know. We can sense it. We can tell. They'll sit right next to you and smile right in your face, and you would never know what you're staring at. But we would know. We have that sense. We know it. And they're around you 24/7. What do you think? They only come out at nighttime? Oh, it's just no Halloween special. They're out anytime they want to come out. They walk in churches. I saw a video. I had to turn it off real quick because I didn't want to see any more of it. But I saw where a woman was sitting down. She climbed the wall like a roach. You don't know what you're dealing with. This ain't no Tales of the Crypt. I'm trying to scare you. This is actual real. Satan is a real thing. And you invited it in. Hey, what's up with you, little Sparky man over there? We're changing out your treats today. So you're about to get the lobster. You want the lobster? You want the lobster? I'll get you the lobster. All right? Want to go chill on the bench today? Want to chill on the bench? You want to chill on the bench? Okay, cool. We'll do it today. I got light work today. Well, I got heavy work today, but I always got time for you, little furry monster. How come your screen's not coming on? That's just waiting for his TV to come on. Let me see. I tell you this stuff because I'm warning you. You need to get your act together. All your efforts. If you haven't learned anything by now, everything that you guys have done and nothing's worked at all, that should tell you right there. You need to get your act together. You guys are in your 50s. You know, people could die around this age. Most likely they die around this age. Gotta get your act together. So, a question. God calls for your soul tonight. Are you ready? You're not. You know you're not ready. So keep in mind, when you leave out the door and you go out and take care of business, you're not promised 100% you're coming back. And the bigger problem you have at the end of the day, you entertain Satan, and he's going to try to make sure you don't come back. So he plots all day. He never creases, never rests. He plots all day on different ways to try to kill us. And you invited it. At least at the end of the day, I serve God at the end of the day. You know, Lord protects me against that demon at the end of the day. but you invited it. You have none of God, but you have of the demon. Get your act together, gentlemen. I told you. All right, cleaner's done. Killed off my time. Gotta come here and do this thing for the kids. Build, finish our medieval, because right now we're building chandeliers today. Chandeliers, all that at cardboard. Chandeliers. Is that crazy? Oh, chandelier system. Whoa. What are you doing today? Put this one taco. Let me see. Where's our? Nope, that's not you. That's not you. You're in here somewhere. All right, that's good. Taco bird, taco bird, taco bird, taco bird. That's time you get your bean on. Let's get the overheads off, which the things work quite nicely. There we go. It should have been UFO in here. That should have had headaches. Cut down on the heat. These shades are amazing. Yeah, because I was telling my buddy, was like, so what's going on? I said, I'm like, headaches, man. I went to the hospital for headache. It was that bad. It was like, what's your lighting? I said, at first I thought it was the screen that was causing it. That's what I thought it was. I thought it was the screen that was causing it. And then I went to go look at the lighting in here. I was like, wait, the lights are 3,000 a pop or 24,000 in. Like, good grief. And then on top of that, I got a 3-inch from the ceiling to here. So yeah, they're right on top of us. So these blinders are nice. But I want to get the other ones. I want the other one with the cherry blossoms on them. I want those. All right, let me see. Everything here is done. That's all finished. We got that done. That's all cleaned up. Let's spritz. Oh, this has some damage. People there, you spraying that around, you'll damage your no, those things don't get affected by that. Cooling systems don't bother with that. But I got a solution on how I'm going to be setting up my steam machine. I'm building me a cooling box. I got to go pick up a whatchamacallit. I need to go pick up a heat sink and liquid cooling, but I'm building me a system for it. Refrigeration box. That's what I'm building. And I'll be able to get access to all fractals that have all the connections. I can connect everything into it and all that. On top of that, the entire cube is a screen like we're doing. I can just put a projector in there, hook it up to one, boop, right at the side. So I can't tell you how we're going to be doing the interchangeable screens. The screens are interchangeable in there, but I can't tell you how that method's done. But it's going to be pretty cool. Because that whole cooling thing scares me. I don't want any dust in my machine at all. No dust. See what I went through here? I don't want any dust in it. So you're saying if it has fans on it, yeah, but the fans are filter systems, dual filter systems. So nothing goes in that machine at all, whatever. So I'm customizing my own system for. I had somebody sit there and say, well, they know what they're doing. Yeah, they know what they're doing. But you know what? That's the whole thing about modifications. It's why modders are here. Where's modders? Hello. We're here today because we just make things better. We improve on the idea. That's what inventors do. Inventors improve on the idea. They invent the idea, and then other inventors improve on the idea. Guy invented the light bulb. There were several other people who actually improved on that item, on that light bulb. The radio, TV, game systems, everything improved on it. If not, you would still have the same structure design that happened in the 1920s or whatever era it popped up at. Somebody had to improve on it. Should know that in gaming. You should definitely know that in gaming. All the different peripherals and pieces and parts and stuff they designed for gaming, cooling, and for parts for laptops and all that stuff, and different controllers and this, that, and the other. Blah, 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 blah. Come on, you should know that already. All right, people. I'm so glad I'm not singing that song. All right, let me see. This is done. Put that over there. I'm going to get ready for the whatchamacallit. What time we don't got time for that because I got to go take care of something that's really important. My fan over here because now fan's clean. So we got the gaming technology over there. I just put it up right there. I'm going to have some fun with that today. That's our gaming technology right there. And we have our medieval. what I went through yesterday, my back and neck was cramped up badly. Good thing I got a massager. I invested the money in a massager. But yeah, I was there to put my cobble floor in, and man, that was a painstaking. Where's my glasses? Oh, we go. That was a painstaking ordeal. It was, but at least we got it done. We got to build a tavern sign. We're building furniture today, people. Because we got to put the floor in first. We're going to put the furniture in. We got to put a stack of wood over there. We need to put a stack of wood over there. I want a couple of kegs over here of ale over here. We're going to extend this a little bit farther out here because we have to put a bar over here, and we have to put a this one's going to be shaped a little differently. We're going to put a bar over here, and we got to put the door. I think I'm going to put the door most likely here. I'm going to put the door here. I'm going to put the bar here. I'm going to put a table here and a table here. And we got a roaring fire here. But I do want to put another fire pit here. Now, chandelier is going to be there, there, and there. We're going to do all this in here. This is going to be done with little strips of masking tape. If you've done that in art class, the masking tape, you strip it out, put it all over the bottle, and you go into brown rub shooting polish. It makes it look like it's made out of wood. So that's what we're going to do all this. This has to be a mixture of dark browns and grays in here because the fire needs to pop. So imagine dark grays and brown, dark in here, and then you have this bright burning fire, and then you have these lights that pierce through that darkness. That's how it has to look. The window we're going to have here, I'm going to put a light over top of it, not there outside. So we have to do something different to get the light to shine through there. But that over there, the little house over there, that one, there's an environment being built around it. That's a little different than the rest of the builds here. It's something special we're building. That definitely involves a screen. But we're going to have to build me another cottage to match the size of these guys. So neon paints, all that's coming in. We're going to basically take the arcade system we have over there, get back to work on that, and we're going to take a mouse pad that we cut, and we're going to convert that to a 1980s arcade rug. I got to look at some lights too and tapestry. I got to buy some fabric. I need fabric. But they have to be in red. You know, because red's royalty. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, they red to it. I'll get some red fabric. I'm gonna get some little patch tabs, little ones that are already cut out, and I can put the decorative design on that. That'd be pretty cool. And we got a PC above today too. We got enough cardboard for that? It's got some boxes in the back. Let's see if I can grab some. Not that other box. The other box gave me my chest hurt. I think I'm gonna grab. Got some boxes back. Just gonna grab one of the boxes back there. See what works for me. I'll be back there smelling boxes. Like, what is wrong with that guy? Because my son about to trigger off something for me. I do want to build our small PC build. So we're going to be building that today on top of that. Before our stuff gets here, because we got a lot of stuff coming in, and we have to make sure we're ready for when it comes through. Our glow paints are coming in today, so we're always doing some glow I'm supposed to order that. We need the light with the UV on it so we can basically go work on the thing with the dark is. All right. Put an order for it. All right, people. Give me my magical Johnny. Of course, we thank our Lord and Savior, even for everything we do. Thank God. Look at that. That's what we're building. We thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for blessing us the capabilities and the knowledge to get things done. Without Him, none of this would ever be possible. We also, for those of you that are out there sinning and you're serving Satan, cut it out, seek and find God. Like I told you before, you do not know how much time you have here. You know, I like to say it this way. I know it's real. People work out, stay in shape, eat right, and they die. Your time. Never ever put in your head that you think because you're 20 or 18 or young. Never think you have tomorrow. You don't have it. It's what God decides is what you have. That's what you have to understand. It's what God decides. You don't know what tomorrow will bring. Like I said, I sat there and I shook that man's hand. next day he died. It was his time. That day I sat with him having that conversation on that porch was his last day here. Well, it wasn't here anymore. You can't come back with him. If you weren't saved, you went to a very bad place. So, I promise. You gotta think about that sometimes, that when he got up that day, he didn't know he was going to die the next day. He went out to the same thing, went out and eat, hung out with friends, and probably went to work and all that. You know, that was his last day. It was going to be that day. Can you imagine that? Right now, when you're talking, whatever you're doing, this could be your very last day. Now, for Christians, are we bothered by this? No, we're going home. Why would I be upset? Why would I be angry? If the Lord calls me home, it means I go home. I get to see God. I get to see Jesus. I get to see my mom. And probably some people I don't remember that probably passed off and didn't know become Christians. That'd be nice. But I made it. I made it crossed over. But only people who are afraid of this are people that are not ready, that you have not accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. And this is why it scares you. If it scares you, that means you need to be saved. You've already answered your own question. So like I tell people in the day, if you think, oh, tomorrow I'm going to, never say that, because you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. You could sit there and today and think, yeah, we just got married, tomorrow we're planning our honeymoons. It didn't happen. One of my childhood friends who basically got up every morning, worked at a car dealership, got up every morning, went to the dealership, had breakfast, saw his family and stuff like that, went to work and came home every single day. So for that day, he woke up. That was his last day on earth. Went to the dealership, went, did his little usual routine, walked out the door, had a massive heart attack, was dead before he hit the floor. That was his last day. So if you guys out there doing the act of the devil, you get up and the devil starts talking to you early in the morning. He's quick. He talks in the morning. We're going to do this to him. We're going to do that to him. We're going to do that. You do this to me. You do it to other people too. Pretty sure you're doing stuff to other people. He has you working for him all day. And he's sitting there thinking like, any time, time's going to run out. I'm finally going to get him. His biggest fear at the end of the day is while you're here, you might get saved. Now, if he gets saved, he's like, oh, man, you mean to tell me I put all that work in? I had this guy. I was going to have him. I had him, and now he's gone. God got him now. And try to work on somebody else next. That happened to me. So, the devil got mad and frustrated. He still comes back from time to time to carry him back up. That's what he does. Never quits. But he already knows that I know everything about him. And I know your trickeries and your lies and all that, and I'll have none of you. But those of you who actually serve him, he has you. And if something happens where he can make it happen and get you up there faster, or it's your time to go, he got you 100%. You are in there. He got you. He got you. And there's nothing you can do to get out of it now. He's got you in there. And that's what you got to worry about. Christians, on the other hand, for us, we need to get out there. Don't be lazy Christians. Don't be lazy Christians. You're lazy Christians. You got to get up there. You got to talk about Jesus. You can't be saved at the end of the day and call yourself a Christian if you're not out there talking about the Lord, talking about his works, talking about trying to get people saved. They're lazy Christians. I was one. I was a lazy Christian. I didn't want to go out and talk about God. I wanted to be about God, but I didn't want to talk about God. You can't be that. I know sometimes it's shy and it's hard. Lord, ask the Lord how he can use you to do his work. And he'll show you the way how to do it. He will. But don't be one that blocks away the good word from other people. Everybody needs to know about this word. And you're going to have people that are not going to want it, accept it. And you're going to keep running there. They're going to say nasty things to you about it. Don't worry about it. You're protected by God. You don't worry about that. This is the devil lashing out because he's upset and angry. Because he sees you working on somebody that the devil automatically wants. So go out there and preach the word of the Lord. Don't get caught up in the crooked nonsense of these crooked priests that are talking about money. It ain't about money. You're talking about something you can't take with you. So it ain't about that. It's about The real riches is being saved and entering into the kingdom of heaven. Those are where your riches are. Your salvation is your riches. That's what it is. It ain't money. As you're sitting there, and I see watch these preachers cluster with all this money and all this stuff talking about it's about getting rich. Why in the world would I want to get rich with something on the earth that's cursed? Everything on this planet is cursed. So why in the world would I want to basically gain something that's cursed? I'd rather gain something that's not cursed. And that would be walking with Jesus, going to heaven, serving God. So I'm not worried about these riches here. My riches are in heaven. The day I can walk in and see God's face and smile, and him smile right back at me. Oh yeah, that's as rich as you can get. So they'll get you set up, and you'll see all this glamour and stuff that they have, and they'll say, "Hey, if you want to be blessed like me, you're not blessed. You curse yourself. But be blessed like me. You want to be rich like me and all this? Yeah, you got to basically give me more money. You give me more money, I can give you that blessing. Yeah, no, don't follow down that road. Woo! I'm that glad that bag is waterproof. Put my equipment in there. Yeah. So anyway, Christians, be careful. Very careful. All right. Well, I got all the dust off me. I got a bit dusty in that job. I'm gonna go take care of my business and go look at this place and get some other things I got to get done. And Lord willingly, I'll be back in here. If not, I went home. He was like, "How long can you accept death so easy? You know where you're going is easy. I don't fear death. My time is my time." No. That's why, my mother passed away. There are people in the family still grieving over it. They're grieving and crying and this and that and the other, and the devil's getting there and messing with them, and they're angry and upset with other people in the family because they don't feel the way they feel. You are not seeing the big point of it all. When a person's a Christian, i.e., Christian, you're not a Christian, you are a Christian, you are saved. It's not a time of sadness, it's a time of happiness, rejoice. That person went home. They finished their task here. They're no longer cursed, they're no longer in pain, they're no longer feeling sorrow, heartbroken. They went to see God. That is a joyful time. So when they went to the funeral, which I didn't go, and they were all upset, crying and all that, why am I going to cry over a vessel? It's not her. She's not in there anymore. She's gone. Why'd I go visit a grave? She's not there. It's an empty suitcase. She's with my Lord now. So we did? The Christians on our side of the family had a birthday party. We had a celebration to celebrate her new celestial body with Christ. That's what we did. We had a celebration. Now, I had my sadness when she left. I had my tears when she left. I'm human. But other than after that, that's it. Because at the end of the day, my mom went home, and I'm happy for that. And hopefully, I'll get my opportunity, and I want to go too. I want to see my mother. I want to see Jesus. I want to see what she's seeing up there. I want to see the glory and the beautiful. And I want to see it all. That's why I'm working hard so I can go there. But not only that, I preach and talk about the Lord so other people will have that opportunity to see God too, even my enemies. Now, if you sit there and say, well, if you call yourself being a man to try to help me out, why would you call it? Because you committed a crime. What kind of Christian would I be at the end of the day if I call myself allowing someone to do things that you should not be doing? As a Christian, I got to do what's right. And if you're out there breaking the law and doing things you're not supposed to be doing, it's my job to make sure that those people that you are taking from and doing these things too get their justice at the end of the day, as I would want my justice also, and anyone else would want their justice. But to sit there and try to twist it around by saying, oh, you're a Christian at the end of the day, you should not be reporting me. No, I should be reporting you because I am a Christian. That's like saying because you're a police officer, you shouldn't arrest. Yeah, he should arrest you. He's a police officer. His job is to uphold the law. And for him to do his job better, people need to come forth and have these things taken care of so they can do their job better and we get less of these people off the street so the world can be a little bit more safer for our kids at the end of the day. I don't have kids as my taco, but I still consider my kid. You didn't hear that at all, period. Anyway, but that's the way it is, okay? So you can get mad at me all you want and say, oh, you're not a Christian man because you're prosecuting. It's not prosecuting. I'm taking care of the way it's supposed to be taken care of. As I said before, in my past life, and this was different we would not be having this conversation. We would never be having this conversation because I would never document myself saying anything that could basically throw me in jail. I would just pick up a phone, and make a phone call. That's it. And I'll go back to whatever I do because it's already been taken care of. So I told you today, I know people. I know a lot of interesting people, but these are people I'd rather see saved at the end of the day. These are people I want to become Christian today. I want them to give up that world and become Christians. A little bit of a fight, but it is what it is. Battle to battle. You know what I mean? Trying to save people, then they don't want to be saved. But anyway, but I could go to these people and say, hey, I need help. I got these people online and they've been attacking me. They've been attacking my family, attacking my mother. I could easily do that. But I don't do that. If I do that, I entertain the devil. And I'm not trying to have anything to do with him. I already messed with him and already lost 8 years and 9 months of my life. So I'm not going down that road ever again. I learned my lesson. I serve God now. So I do it the way it's supposed to be done. You come at me, you attack me, I gather up all the stuff that you're doing toward me, and I take you to court. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's the Christian way of doing things. The way you're doing, it's not a Christian way of doing things. You're doing things of the devil. That's what you're doing. And you don't see the big picture of it all. The devil got you to do things that now are going to catch up to you, and you got to go to court for all this. It's not just me. God is going to be the one seeing it through. That each one of you, end up in that courtroom. I prayed and put it in his hands. He's the one that's going to seek and see it through. Now it's up to you. When you're in that situation and you're in jail, it's up to you. Either you're going to follow God or you're going to follow the devil. Because the devil's going to finish his job. Whatever he had you do to get you in that situation, he's going to finish it. Just like when I was in prison and I was in that juvenile detection maximum security unit, he was going to finish the job. Because he got me there. He got me already in there. Now, the next step is just trying to get him in a fight with another inmate that may murder him. Something we can get done to get rid of him. But it didn't work out that way for him. My mom walked in there and gave me a Bible, and that ruined everything for him. So I told that demon turned around that conversation with me and said, that Bible can't help you. Because he knew from the door, if I started reading that book, that he would lose me. And you guys are doing the very exact thing I did when I was 17, or 16, roughly 17. You're doing the exact same pattern. Sure, in this one, the devil got you into some really crazy stuff. So you got to answer for all that. Did I get set free? No, I had to answer for all that. Even when I was a Christian, I was in there. I still had to do the time. The Lord blessed me because I could have did the 40 to 80. I could have easily got that easy, no problem. But the Lord didn't allow it to be. The Lord said, I got a purpose for this man. He's going to do great things for me today. He's going to go out, he's going to preach my name. I'm going to take this person who hated me, couldn't stand me, attacked people, tried to attack people in my church, attacked his family, attacked other people who did all this ruthless stuff. I'm going to take that person right there and I'm going to make him a word of God. That's what he did. And I guarantee you 100%, I guarantee you that when I was out there doing all that chaos and carrying on, the devil was pointing me to do all this stuff. He was in heaven talking about, look at him down there. Knowing he's the one that pushed me and put me in that situation. I could have rebuked him. I could have, but I didn't. But I said, no, go out and do that. Go over there and blow that guy's car up. Blow his car up. You know what I mean? Destroy his car. Because at the end of the day, he owes y'all money, da. Do what you got to go do. Go down. They go get the gasoline, go there, tell you how to do the whole thing, put it all together. I ain't going down, you put it, blow his car up. And then be in heaven like, look at him, Lord, you over there blowing someone's car up. Why would you want to save something like that? Why? God already knows already from the door. He knows what he's doing. Why you want to save something like that? Let me have him. He no good to you. You got all these, just that one person. Let me have him. And I'm in there like, I'm blowing this car up. You know what I mean? People get on my freaking nerves and I'm going to do so and so and so. And they're like, look at him. No control whatsoever. You don't want that. Let me have him. And God was like, no. I got plans for that one. And that's why I'm here now to have this conversation with you now. So you people out there who hate my guts and all that stuff, I don't hate you. I don't hate you for you. I feel sorry for you because you're going down the same path I did many years back. Once he gets that taste, he never lets go. So you got to seek and find God and get your life together. You better get it together. You don't know when the day is going to be your last day. You don't know that. All right. Wait, we got to put that in? No, I didn't see that at first. Ah, yeah, there is a top area up there. All right, whatever. Yeah, I want to install that in. Apparently, there's side windows too. So, well, that's going to be interesting. Oh, our taverns are built different. Still. So I'm looking at this thing right here, this picture. I'm like, I'm back at mine. Almost similar to the same thing. I'll tell you honestly. Let's see what it's called. Yeah, I got nailed on the fireplace. But we're supposed to have some smaller windows here and here. I don't put a lot there. We already have a window there. I'll put one right there and then the other box here. I'll put it there. This one we started with the box, building the box. The other one we literally had to build that section piece by piece to do it because it has to be detailed. It's just the main base of it all. I'm looking at this thing right. Oh, we got to put shields in too. We got to build our own shields and stuff. Okay. And the roof is required to have some windows too on top of that because I'm like pushing it. So I'm looking at this over here. I think when we do the castle, I'm going to put in King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table. I'll put that in. We're going to build the castle this way. We're going to build it this way first, and we're going to build the castle around it. I want to be going around, turn around, pull the wall off it, and pull entire sections out to show you how they're built and stuff like that. The castle's going to take, I think the castle is probably going to take roughly, think about it, about 2 months to build it. It's big. So we're gonna do a smaller version here, but my friend's getting the larger version. That's what he wants. And as we go along, I write some something like this we're going to do, blah 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 blah. We're gonna pick up a surface, a sample surface of what we're gonna do inside the castle with. It's very elegant, very beautiful. So you get that. See how they did this right here? See that? That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at that right there. I like that balcony walk area right in here. I like that. So I think what I'm probably going to do on the next build here, I'm going to basically make it so there's a little walk area here you can walk up on this side. Come up the stairs, walk area here. And then we'll put one right up in here, right up in here. I think that'd be nice. Okay. That's good. He really could have did something with that craft he has. God gives everybody a blessing. You're all blessed. Everybody has a blessing. Whether you believe it or not, everybody has a blessing. We all stand in line. The Lord gives us our blessings. He does. And the devil sits there and goes, how can I use this to my advantage point to steal it from you? That's what he does. He tries to take your blessings, try to taint them, try to use them against you to curse you with something that God bless you to have. And that 3D, I got to go to somebody right now that has a 3D printer. 3 people have it right now. We get a meeting to make stuff for us. So, miniature stuff that we can't build and stuff. We need to make like little tiny candles and vases and little cups and mugs and all that stuff like that. That's the miniature builds is a big business. It's a very big business. And if you come up with your own product line of miniatures, this helps other people that are building little miniature setups. They don't want to be working with a 3D printer. They don't have access to a 3D printer. You can sell this stuff, and people buy this stuff. Like right now, I need a whole bunch of little miniature candles, and there's some stuff that I need, little shields and suits of armor and all that stuff. So if I got somebody printing stuff out for me, you're getting paid for this. You know what I mean? Start a business on printing little miniature items, and he's good. As you can see, his paint skills are amazing. So, Jamie, I can do that. I'm not a person of hatred at all. I can basically look at your work. It's very good. It's beautiful. But the problem is you went about it the wrong way. You stole from companies. Man, you could have did so much with that skill level. If I had that skill level, man, there's all kinds of stuff I would have been designed at the end of the day. And it would have been your work at the end of the day. You could have made these little miniatures. You could have put down Fernando's miniatures. That'd have been fantastic. Little miniatures. I'd have been buying from you. Like, oh, shoot, look, you got candles, you got suit of armor, you got wagons and all that stuff. Or we can put in special requests like, I need this made, and can you make this for me right here? You'd have been getting paid, buddy. Look on YouTube and look up miniature builds. Do you have any idea how many people build those things? And on top of that, PC modifications. You can print out all kinds of stuff for us. You'd be making a killing. And then on top of that, it'd be your stuff. And here's the kicker. This is the crazy part about it. You're probably not going to like. You don't want nobody ripping off your work, right? It'll be your signature work. You don't want nobody ripping it off, right? So you go down and get yourself a copyright, get yourself a trademark, and get yourself a patent on your stuff so no one touches it. Because if someone goes in and they're making your stuff, you're going to be upset, right? And you're going to want justification. You're going to want to take them to court. They're going to have to pay you back the money that basically they made off your product. Oh, there you go. Now you see what I'm talking about here. So that's why you don't have a right to steal money. What game is this? Destiny 2. Never played Destiny before. I heard it was actually pretty good. I think I have to pop into that. All right, whatever. I'm gonna download it. I'm gonna download the first one. Just because I'm curious to see. I gotta get my what's called game back too. My Onrush. I got to buy the game now. I don't have no PC. I gotta get all the console. That's another reason why I get console too. But anyway, so yeah, you could have been doing something with that. Definitely could have been doing something with that. But he chose that path. God gave him a gift. And he took that gift and he just did other stuff with it. The screen paint business he had, you could have did something better with that. Instead of basically using high-powered machines to manipulate and cheat customers, you could have did something better with that. That means you could have had a 3D printing business, legit, and you would have had a home theater business. That's something nice to leave back to your kids. What do? Scam a whole bunch of customers on house pay, make them think they believe they're getting something special when they're not, and you counterfeited a major counterfeiting ring out of your apartment. You could have did that so much differently, man. You could have did the miniatures because you don't got to print a lot of those out. You could have done a small enough of them to put the cat keep it safe and all that, but print out a small little amount of them because you can't get in trouble for that. Set up a nice little eBay listing or your website through Wix. Put that in there. Market it through YouTube and stuff like that. Somebody will market Facebook and so forth. Get yourself a PayPal business account. Go down and get yourself go apply. First thing you want to do before you do all that, when you get here, get your citizenship. Your citizenship's going to open up a lot of doors for you. Or even if you're in the process of your citizenship, it still helps you out a lot. So you get all that done. And then you can go out and apply for the DBA, EIN number, and all that stuff you would need, your business license and all that stuff. That's great. And then after that, gets you a nice little storage unit to put your items in because, you're going to have a lot of room there. You can put in there, store your stuff in there because that should be okay because it's your stuff. And before you do all that, make sure you go down to LegalZoom and you go down and you get your LLC. You get your patent, copyright, make sure all your stuff is protected. So it's good. Put all your stuff in your unit. And then when you got all that established, once you start working, you can get yourself right out a nice little spot, a little work area, and you can work from there. Now you're zoned to be able to run your business. You contact code enforcement, say, hey, look, this is what I'm running. I got a license. I got an EIN number. I got all that other paperwork. All I need for you guys to come in and just give me approval on the spot. And this will come in and give you the approval and write it off to good. They're going to make money. They're getting tax money out of you. You're good to go. Now you're all set up. Got a nice little business. You don't do that. You go out and you steal from people. That's why you're in the problem you're right now. The devil told you to go steal and you went and stole. Do something positive with it. Do something positive. God gives you blessings and do something positive with it. Cigar we're using to kind of give an idea how big the fireplaces we used to be bigger than that, but that fireplace is actually very size. Because most likely, fireplaces in the medieval area, you wasn't really going to be seen over top. This right here at all, period. They're a little bigger. And people, the reason why they have bigger fireplaces, because the bigger the fireplaces, the more area you can actually heat. It's interesting because they started building these first, and then the heat really doesn't disperse out. It only heats up the area wherever it's in it. Then they start building these fire pits in the middle, which would disperse heat all the way around because you didn't have the shelter, the fireplace covering it. You just had these pits. But the problem with the pits is the smoke had to go somewhere. The smoke sometimes would filter the inside of the room. Now they had different areas up there. They had little cracks, little holes in different areas with smoke to escape through. But most of the time, a lot of people breathed in a lot of soot and ash and stuff like that. A lot of people got sick. But the fireplaces that burned in the middle burned better because the heat dispersed all the way around. But this actually dispersed heat from here and here. It had a limited range on it. I had to study all. I didn't have to. I like that kind of stuff. I'm curious, like how castles stay warm and stuff like that. So if you look at castles and you see a lot of tapestry on the wall, a lot of like blankets and stuff like that. It wasn't just for decoration. It was to block out the cold air that was pushing through those bricks or cobblestones. That's what it was for, insulation. That's why you see majority of like the King's Room have all this linen on the walls and everything, and the floors, because the floors were cobblestone, air could still seep through. And if you look at his bed would have these curtains all the way around, like Scrooge, all the way around, and that blocked a lot of the air. And then they would wear multiple layers of clothes. That's why. Yep, learned all that. Castles were never built for insulation; they were built for basically protection. That's why they set up on these really high um, um, mountains because it made it much harder for military to reach them. And then on top of that, they would have the vantage point because they'd be looking right down on top of them when they're actually piercing them with arrows. But mind you got something that high up, you got wind and all that will push and filter right through that unit. Yeah, that's the problems they have. Those are the ones that are up in the air. There's some other ones they have were actually built lower to the ground that you can actually walk into, across the moat, and drawbridge, and all that stuff. Still, they're very airy. They were. So, we're not going to talk about that when we build them. We're going to talk about the fantasy part of it all. That's what I'm talking about. Because I can't get into dark history when I got kids watching. We need to get a little broom in here. We got to build ourselves a little broom so we can sweep out our castle. All right, what time we got, Mr. Byrd? So we got to be back in here and we got to do some work in here for this. Because I want to change gears. I want to be doing something for the kids. And we're going to be building movie theater screens for kids. Easy movie theater screens to build for your kids. So, we got them in the backyard, front yard, wherever. We're going to build a nice little screen. We should do all that stuff for you parents out there. And you don't have to break the bank. You're spending way too much money. Spend too much money for you guys today. You can build the perfect family room setup projection screen without breaking the bank and spending a 12 month to do it. I'm sure you have to do it. All right, got to go. Thank you for your time. Be safe out there. Seek God and God bless. You get to clean up all the payments done, right?